It has a very strong taste. Okay, wow. I'm Indian, I'm used to strong taste, but this is not what I was expecting. मेरा नाम विक्रांत है और मैं इंडिया से हूँ. स्पेसिफिकली मैं इंडिया के नॉर्थ में पंजाब से हूँ, पर मेरी एजुकेशन पुणे में महाराष्ट्र में हुई थी, पर पिछले 23 साल से मैं इंडिया में रह रहा था. I wanted to gain more international exposure, and I've always been fascinated by the subject of international law, and that's why I decided that it might be better to come here. I study public international law, the advanced masters, and my classes are fairly equally divided between Leiden and The Hague. I like taking pictures in Leiden, but I like living in The Hague. But I was lucky enough to find an opening in a private student building, and as soon as I found one, I just grabbed it, and so it was relatively easier. I am a huge fan of Stroopwafels already, but that's about it, yeah. Oh wow, I have not tried whatever these is. It looks like it will have some form of chocolate, but I'm not too sure. Okay, it does look like it has some chocolate, but I'm not too sure of the taste profile. It is sweet, maybe cereal actually. Tastes a bit like cereal. Kruidnoten. Okay, I'll give it a solid 4. Like, it seems like it would be great with like coffee or milk or something. I have not been to the Netherlands before, and my first impression was that it is, it's weirdly pretty, in the sense that I never expected that a city would actually look this good, especially Leiden. My first impression was like it looks like a postcard. And so yeah, my first impressions were pretty, that it's really beautiful. I have made some friends who from all over the world, basically, from Russia, from Belgium, from Spain, and from Mexico, and others like Philippines, and all over the world basically. Leiden University has a very stellar reputation when it comes to international criminal law and public international law in general. And I had heard about this reputation since my first year at my undergrad college. And so it was a very attractive destination, especially with the International Criminal Court being in The Hague and the International Court of Justice also being in The Hague. It's very interesting because some of my classes are in a building from which we can see both. And so it's extremely interesting to read about the judgments and the precedents set by these courts while also looking out the window at them. I would say visiting the beach with some friends was a very good experience because from where I am in India, we do not have an ocean nearby, and so I'm not used to living by the beach, but now I can just, where I live in The Hague, it's just a 10-minute bicycle ride away. And so visiting the beach with the friends during sunset on a good sunny day was a good experience. Oh wow, this looks like it will have a cola taste. It looks like a candy. It looks like it will have something related to a cola taste. It has a very strong taste. Okay, wow. I'm Indian, I'm used to strong taste, but this is not what I was expecting. Okay, it has a very strong sour taste, I'd say. It's interesting. Do you still call it candy if it's not sweet? I thought the Dutch did sweet stuff well, but this is interesting. Maybe a 2.5. Not a huge fan, but I can see the appeal. Yeah, be ready for extreme winds, because I'm not used to the winds, and I just wore this jacket and came out for the onset festival, and it was not fun because it started raining and the wind was heavy. So, but other than that, I think I would just say Netherlands for me so far has been like an extremely friendly country. People are really nice. If you strike up a conversation with people, they're very happy to chat. They're very happy to tell you more about, if you go to a cafe, for example, tell you more about their business. And yeah, it's a really lovely country that, for a country that does not have any hills or mountains, it still has a lot of natural beauty to offer. I mean, it's good Indian food. But I'm getting used to cooking now, which I never did before. So that's another personal skill I've learned since I've moved here. But yeah, I do miss the food back home, and of course family and friends, but yeah, getting used to living by myself. I think initially, for the first 1 week, I did struggle with some homesickness. But since then, I've been trying to work consciously towards making sure my mental health is doing well. That has helped. So sometimes I cycle at night because that helps my mental health. Sometimes I go to cafes with friends, even if I have work, just to make sure that I'm doing okay, and that has helped. But yeah, other than that, it's actually been pretty easy to adapt living in the Netherlands. Surprisingly easy, in fact. and I'm still chewing on this somehow. The culture shocks. Nothing as such, but one positive culture shock is how good the cheese is here. And I'm vegetarian, so I have to look for vegetarian cheese, but that has been worth it because the vegetarian cheese itself is so good here. On the other hand, it was very strange because I have heard about Dutch directness before, but my first experience was actually very recently when I went to a bank and an employee at the bank seemed to be extremely rude in the first 5 minutes. But I think that was just the Dutch directness because later on he was sharing a coffee with me, laughing with me, and he was very happy to chat with me. And so that was a very weird culture shock, but at the same time I understood that that's the way things are done here a bit, and so I did not take offense to the first time when I felt he might be rude. Of course, Stroopwafels. I love Stroopwafels. I already got 2 big bags from Jumbo of Stroopwafels, and I've had it in shops, and so I love Stroopwafels. And so if I do go back after my studies, the one thing I'll miss about the Netherlands the most is Stroopwafels. The texture is good, and I have already received a tip from a Dutch person that I'm supposed to keep it over my coffee or my tea before I have it. And he told me, which I appreciate, is that it's a great way to teach children patience because the longer you keep it, the better it tastes. And I did try that. I tried it keeping it over my tea for 20 seconds versus 2 minutes, and the 2 minutes was definitely better. It's just the perfect snack to have. A 5. 5, definitely a 5. Yes, my first week here, I am a huge fan of automobiles. And so my first stop was the Leiden Museum in The Hague, which is a huge private collection of cars, which was amazing. But also my introduction week, I did participate in the Owl Week here in Leiden for international students, and that was really good. I made a few friends that I'm still in touch with 6 weeks on. I'm open to the opportunities that I get after the program. So the course that I'm in offers a lot of opportunities in The Hague, I believe, because it's the city of international peace and justice. And so since my course is very much related to the institutions working in the city, I might stay in The Hague, but as well, I'm open to going back to India to work in academia. And so it really depends on the opportunities.